Welcome to 7 a.m. Coffee with Shanda. I am here with Randy Kamen. Randy, how are you?
I am awesome. It's such an honor to be here. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Shanda.
I love that you're here, and I love that you're going to inspire everybody. Every smart individual on this planet like you is going to be super inspired and get out of their heads and into their hearts and create an incredible result for themselves. So Randy, can you just share a couple words about who you are so that people can understand who you are before we jump into the interview?
Okay, I'm a psychologist. I've been teaching in the academic world and in clinical practice for decades, more than I'm going to tell you. And I've gone into, and I teach around the country and beyond. I teach at health resorts, at companies, at corporations, and teach all kinds of different courses related to retraining the brain and creating lasting change, and really, at this point, rising in one's leadership, as thanks to all the leadership training I've been doing over the last 2.5 years. So the training and the coaching from you, Shanda, has been beyond any expectation I ever could have had, because I thought I was doing everything just as I needed to be doing. And then there was this whole other layer of consciousness that I wasn't even tapping into. So it's been powerful.
I love that. I wasn't expecting that. That's so wonderful. Thank you, Randy. Well, so let's go back to the beginning of your journey. Talk about the bridge on how you kind of figured this thing out to make things pop for yourself, and to segue into really doing the things that you've been really wanting to do. It's kind of like your whole life's teed up to this moment, and you're filled with joy. You're filled with joy. You're filled with passion and excitement with your life at this stage of your life, which is super exciting, right?
Yeah.
So
totally.
let's go back to when I first met you. Like, why did we even start working together?
Well, I was very unhappy with my private practice. I had a huge, successful private practice that I felt totally burnt out. I was miserable. I had done an online show, and it was very successful, but honestly, I still didn't know what to do with it. So now I had thousands of people on my list, not many thousands, like 4,000, 3,500. And I didn't know how to sell. I didn't know how to enroll people. And in my business as a psychologist and academician, I was a professor for many years. You're not allowed to sell. You're not allowed to promote yourself or enroll people. That's just against the rules. So I had all this training, and now the new model was you've got to sell. So I couldn't do it. I just couldn't bring it. It felt so smarmy to me. And I had a coach, and it just didn't change it. It didn't change it for me. It still seemed icky. And I came to the Zone event, and I heard you, and I almost fell off my chair. And I just thought, who is this woman? Why don't I know her? And I never looked back. I never looked back. I mean, even when I doubted you.
Yep.
In my heart of hearts, I knew I should stick around and see what is possible for you, Randy. Just give it a chance, give it a real chance. And I did, and it was the best decision of professional life.
Thank you, Randy. Let me dive into where you doubted me, because I think this is a place that people they go into and they check out because they trust that feeling. Right? So it's like, when you doubted me, what was coming up for you?
I just felt like I'm never going to break through. I'm never going to really get this. You have to compromise your integrity in a way that I am unwilling to do. And it seemed like you had to get into this sales model that it's really so I have to say, there were certain times when I thought, oh yeah, it's just all about the money. Shanda's in sales once again. She's selling on the selling on the selling. And I had judgment about it. And now I applaud you for doing it, because I know where it's coming from, but it took me a while to get there and to trust you in a way that I So I'm just going to jump ahead. When
Yeah,
I
yeah,
was in the training that we did in the mastermind, and I took the coaching, I raised my hand, like I was like, you have got to call on me. And I went into the hot seat. You did a piece of work with me, and it landed in a way that I never, ever had felt before. Like, this is my path. And
yeah.
I just took the training. And after that, I mean, my business just, I don't even want to call it a business. It doesn't even do it justice. I feel like what I'm doing to change the world is, it just skyrocketed. It really took a big, big change. And
And now enrollment's happening everywhere around you.
it is.
Everywhere you go, it's like people are just enrolling.
Yeah, but I don't even think of it as enrolling. I need a new word for it. I feel like I'm turning.
How about leading a movement?
Yeah, leading. I feel like I could make a difference in people's lives. I know I can. I've had over 35, I mean, more than 35, close to 40 years in the trenches doing research and clinical work. If I can't, and then now with the leadership training, if I can't help them, I don't know who can, because it's like embracing mind, body, positive psychology, and now leadership training and all the other life experiences. So after doing the leadership training, I feel like I could step into this place of power that I didn't really embody before.
Let's talk about that. What was the shift? What do you think just got into alignment with yourself? Because like we've covered a gamut of thoughts and ideas and feelings already, like in the first 7 minutes of chatting. It's like you went from who is this woman? I'm jumping in to then like, you know what? I'm a professor. I'm a psychologist. I don't do sales, right? Whatever that's about, right? That deep training around that. To leadership, to things getting into complete alignment, to the selling retreat that we just did, and then a hot seat that like landed for you, which we've talked like over the years. We've talked. I mean, I've given you strategies, but I think they've been ideas to you until now, and now they're strategies.
Yeah, you gave me this. Actually, you gave me the same strategy when I first met you. The first time I met you at the Zone event. And I just thought, nice idea. How's that ever going to happen?
Yeah.
How am I going to ever be able to enroll people at a high level retreat where, a lot's, involved in that it's a high ticket item that's not appropriate for everybody. And I didn't dare to say the number. I didn't dare to go out and enroll people. I just wouldn't do it. Yeah. So I didn't know how to do that. But now it taught me how. It's just that you
also went from letting go of even a stubborn stance. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like, because you're smart. I mean, you're smart. You've got credentials till forever. And you've been in the work forever. It's kind of like when someone says to me, let's just take the leadership, for example. I have a really good friend and I mentor with her sometimes. And a lot of my friends and I hire each other. And she's like, I could teach the leadership stuff, yet she has really no friends. And I'm like, you can't teach the leadership stuff just because you're a strong leader and been able to create. I can't teach the leadership stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I put myself back in the room and take myself on because it's like there's always this next level. So I think part of what you're also demonstrating is the willingness to give up. I already know the willingness to give up. Like, I already know this won't work. I already know that this wouldn't work for me. I already know that like who I am doesn't fit this idea.
Yes.
Right? You have to give up those ideas. You have to give up those thoughts and say, I'm willing.
Right.
Go ahead.
And be willing to fail. Because when I got on these phone calls, I just thought, before I got on the phone call, I just said, I'm invested in this person stepping in for her own to rise, for her own benefit. And if she doesn't want it or she doesn't see that it's in alignment for her, I'm not going to personalize. I'm not going to take it on as
I'm doing this anyway. I'm doing this anyway, and I'm super fired up about this. And if this makes sense to you, it would be crazy for you not to jump in. It's like, it's so funny, like even the thought that like when you had an interpretation that like I sell on the selling and all that type of stuff, right? It's like, do you know that for the first time at an event not too long ago, I actually was afraid to make a repitch. And the funny thing is and I had to do it because I had to manage my mind and throw my mind out because it was about the people in the room. And I didn't want them, like I'm no different than any other woman or man out there. Like I didn't want anybody to ever feel like I'm pushing them or I'm trying to get them. But you got to let go of those thoughts because there's always going to be people that are in their stage of the game, their stage of their leadership and their growth that believe that you're doing that. Even if you've only made 2 offers a year, their interpretation will be you're making too many offers, right? And then it was funny being, I went to Russell Brunson's Funnel Hackers and you know, it was great. I loved what he was teaching. He was like, you know, you have to keep making offers. Otherwise, people go somewhere else. If you don't create, so then it becomes the game of, if it's not the right fit for you, don't take the offer. But don't be insulted that somebody is actually coming to the table and saying, do you know how much work you're doing a retreat, right? On Martha's Vineyard. It's like the amount of work that goes into bringing yourself to the table, say, I'm willing to host this for you. People forget about that piece.
And it's a gift. It's a gift. If they don't, I mean, yes, it costs money. And we were having this conversation before we went live, but there's a cost to coming and there's a bigger cost to not coming if it's in alignment with what is needed at that moment for that person.
Yeah, so talk about that with even like your therapist. Like when it's like, the cost of like, what was that kind of aha moment like for people that are sitting in their practices?
What do you mean? You mean for therapy?
When people are sitting in their practices and they want to create their own business and they're still sitting in their practices stuck, right? And not taking the coaching. Talk about that cost for a second.
Oh my God. Well, I actually had a couple of I just taught at Kripalu. It's a yoga health center, the past retreat. There were a couple of psychologists in the group. And it was just so interesting because it was me a few years ago, just feeling burnt out and trapped in this thing of sitting for 10 hours a day, seeing patient after patient, and the insurances and the notes that you had to keep and the records, and you were a prisoner. I was a prisoner. So, and these women felt that way. And after the training, they said, how could we continue working with you? And one of them, you know, I invited to the retreat and told her what it cost. And she was like, oh, and I just thought, well, what's it costing you? And I got that from the sales retreat. Yeah. What's it costing you to stay in that private practice of yours for another year? Because number one, she's underpaid. It's dollars for hours, and she's miserable, most importantly. And this is her life.
Yeah.
This is her life. Who knows? None of us know what we have. So it doesn't matter what stage of life you're at, you know, every day matters. Yeah. And for her to just blow off another year, and she got it. She really got it. And I think she's going to come to the retreat, and, you know, she wants to do, so I might even do a vision day with her. What I call it a vision day.
Yeah.
VIP day.
Yeah. Well, so, and what you're demonstrating there is generosity, right? So it's like, when you're come from, it's like, let me share something that I think is really important for everybody to hear, Randy to hear, everybody to hear. It's like, the bigger you get, you're going to get people who attack. Like I just was reading, there was a review on my Facebook page where somebody was like, oh, Shanda Bedros and Lisa are scam artists and this, that, and the other. And I bought their $197 product, right? Like I bought their product that we did straight for charity. Like we did this for Shriners Hospital. We didn't take $1. And she said she never got any of our stuff. So I just, you know, checked in with Katie on our team. I was like, did this woman get any of our stuff? Like, what's happened? Did something happen? Like, no. She got it on the day. She opened up the modules. She watched the first 2 modules. She's completely been in the program, right? But yet online was thrashing me like I was like this horrific person, right? And I share this with you because like you've got to know who you are, and the more that you can give, the more that you can be like the way you are right now, Randy, where you're thinking about this woman. Like she doesn't know you're thinking about her right now, but you are genuinely thinking about how miserable she is in her life.
Yes.
And how you can help her with this retreat get to the other side. And you're like thinking, oh, maybe I'll do a vision day with her, right? Like maybe I'll do a vision day with her and help her get to the other side because it's what she needs. Yeah. And when you can be that type of person, that would, if you were talking about online marketing or regular marketing or making offers, that would be like when you're offering bonuses to help people walk across the line. But the bonuses, people give shitty bonuses all the time. You got to give bonuses that are really impactful for the person. Like none of us need more shit. You know what I mean? We don't need more shit. We don't need more info products on our desk. We don't need more shit. But we do need it if it's not shit and it's actually something that's going to move us forward. So look at like, what could you give? Like if you see someone like Randy sees with this woman, what could you give them today? What could you give them today that would be over and above, that would be super valuable for them? Not just a shitty bonus, a shitty something, not a tactic, but what could you give them today that would help them walk across the line? So Randy, you got to go have that conversation with her today and walk her across the line, because otherwise, I mean, it's like she's going to sit in that practice.
I'm going to do that. That's brilliant.
Forever. She's going to sit there forever unless you become, you are the leader that shows up in front of her, and you're her angel that shows up so that you can walk her across the line. So everybody, you have got to make offers. You've got to make as many of them as you're willing to give.
Right.
As many of them as you're willing to give. Because I definitely know what it's like when you get to a certain level too, and you're like, I don't want to make another offer because I don't want to fulfill. Well, then you're at the point of giving financially for team. Right? So everything has a strategy. You never have to stop. You never have to hold back. You really never have to create boundaries. Leaders who are telling you about boundaries, it's bullshit. You just have to create systems in your life and your business that allow you to keep giving and growing versus boundaries and pulling back.
I totally agree. And I just want to say, when I felt small in my private practice and like everybody wanted a piece of me, I created boundaries. The session is 45 minutes, we're up. I don't do that anymore. Yesterday I had a coaching client. I spent over an hour with her. That's not our agreement. I didn't even think twice about it. I wasn't looking at the clock. I had the time. It was totally fine. And what I've been giving as bonuses, not to the client I talked to you about earlier, but what I've been giving as bonuses are private sessions with me, because I know that an hour with me is going to change their lives. Yeah. So this one woman was really worried she wasn't going to get enough of me in the retreat, and she signed up for the retreat. So I said, okay, I'll give you 2 sessions. I didn't say how long the sessions would be, and she signed up right away.
Yeah, people just want to know that they're taken care of. And if people are not able to say yes to you, you either have an offer that is not urgent for their life and you've got the wrong audience, the wrong people, or you're not offering the right incentives for them to really feel taken care of. So Randy, we're coming to the end of Coffee with Shanda, which is crazy. I mean, there's actually a bunch of stuff I wanted to still dive in with you. So we're going to have you back, okay? Because I'd like to have you back and do a straight like brain interview and talk about that. That would be really great. So let's get that rescheduled. If there's one piece of advice that you can give anybody who's watching right now, what would that be?
Well, I would say the biggest piece of advice is, as Shanda puts it, manage your mind. And I've always been about retraining your brain, and retraining your brain is exactly, it is the segue into managing your mind. That's exactly what I've taught for decades, and until you could manage your mind, nothing is going to fall into place, because that is where it all begins.
Yes.
And the way you could manage your mind, I have one little simple technique that might or might not land. And if you think you know it, I encourage you to have a beginner's mind about it. Yeah. The first way to let it land is to really allow yourself to breathe abdominally. And what I mean by that is to just get yourself, now people talk about this all the time, but most people are doing it wrong. So when you're breathing in, your belly is going out. When you're breathing out, your belly is going in, and you want to feel like a rise and fall, and that to your belly, that lowers your heart rate, your blood pressure, your muscle tension, everything. You're finally able to land when you do the abdominal. It's a game changer, because you could say, manage your mind, manage your mind, manage your mind. Unless you get into a relaxed state of being, that's when your brain, your mind is receptive to new information or new input. And then when you say, manage your mind, it can land.
You know, it might be kind of fun. We should talk about this. What might be kind of fun is at the Zone event this year, which, by the way, I'm getting the dates for you all. At the Zone event this year, it might be kind of neat to have you do in between my modules pieces around managing your mind for the audience. Would that not be fun?
I would love to do that. And
now you're seeing things get created on the spot.
I would love to do that. And I think it would really help what managing your mind really, really means, because that's what my retreats are about. How do you step into your power? You can't do that unless you're embodying your power.
Yeah, I can see
and
that.
Managing your mind.
Okay, yeah. September 22nd, 23rd, 24th, and 25th. So September 22nd to the 25th morning is when the next Zone event's going to be. And it's actually going to be here in Palm Springs, where I'm at right now. I'm going to run down to the hotel today and go take a look. But we are all set and ready to roll with that. So Randy, thank you. Let's just share a really quick result. Didn't you do like $30,000 in a couple days or something? $50,000 in how long?
3-4 days.
3-4 days. That's the power.
Just by picking up the phone.
That's so powerful. Thank you for being an inspiration for us. Thank you for taking a stand for every therapist, every practitioner, everybody who's stuck in a job that they don't want to be in anymore, and they can segue out and figure out how to actually get there. You can come to the Zone event end of September and join us, where we actually met Randy. And I just send you all so much love. Coffee with Shanda is a great way to start your day, to be able to really manage your mind and get the most out of your day. Come join me for coffee, tea, greens, juice, whatever it is that you drink, at 7 a.m. Monday through Friday. All right. Talk to you soon.